My brother mocked my miscarriage at Thanksgiving, so I revealed who actually fathered his kids. So I lost my baby back in August. It was my first pregnancy, and I was 12 weeks along when it happened. My boyfriend and I were devastated, but we were trying to move forward. My family knew about it, and most of them were supportive except for my older brother Kyle. Kyle's always been the golden child. He's got the perfect wife, 2 kids, nice house, good job, the whole deal. He's also got this thing where he thinks he's hilarious, but really he's just mean. At Thanksgiving dinner this year, there were about 15 of us crammed into my parents' dining room. Turkey, mashed potatoes, the usual stuff. Everything was fine until Kyle decided to make a toast. He stood up with his wine glass and started talking about how grateful he was for his healthy family. Then he looked right at me and said, "Unlike some people, I know how to keep a baby." The entire table went silent. My mom gasped. My dad told him that wasn't appropriate. Kyle just laughed and said he was joking and that I needed to lighten up. I sat there staring at my plate. My boyfriend grabbed my hand under the table. Kyle's wife Amy looked uncomfortable but didn't say anything. Then Kyle added, "Maybe you're just not cut out for motherhood. Some people aren't." That's when something in me just snapped. See, about 2 years ago, Amy got drunk at a family barbecue and told me something. She'd had an affair with Kyle's best friend Jordan back when their first kid was a baby. She was crying and guilty and made me promise not to tell anyone. She said it was a one-time thing and that she'd gotten pregnant right after, but she wasn't sure who the father was. When their second kid was born and looked nothing like Kyle, she knew. Both kids were Jordan's. She begged me to keep the secret because Kyle would leave her and she'd lose everything. I kept that secret for 2 years. Even when Kyle was being a jerk, I kept it, but not anymore. I stood up and looked at Kyle. "You want to talk about keeping babies? Let's talk about your kids." Amy's face went white. She knew exactly where this was going. I continued, "Did you know Jordan's been paying for private school? Weird, right? Why would your best friend do that?" Kyle laughed nervously. "What are you talking about?" "Amy knows what I'm talking about, don't you, Amy?" She was shaking her head at me, tears already forming, but I kept going. "Your kids aren't yours, Kyle. Both of them. Jordan's the father. Amy told me herself 2 years ago." The room exploded. Kyle turned to Amy and demanded to know if it was true. She started crying and ran out of the room. Kyle followed her. We could hear them screaming in the kitchen. My mom was crying. My dad was yelling at me, asking what was wrong with me. Kyle's kids, who are 6 and 4, started crying because their parents were fighting. Kyle came back into the dining room about 5 minutes later. His face was red and he looked like he'd been crying. He pointed at me and said, "You're dead to me." Then he grabbed his kids and left. Amy followed behind him, still sobbing. They peeled out of the driveway so fast they left tire marks. The rest of Thanksgiving was ruined, obviously. Half the family left right after. My parents told me I should have handled it differently. My aunt said I was cruel. My boyfriend said Kyle deserved it, but maybe not in front of the kids. 2 days later, Kyle filed for divorce. He got a paternity test that confirmed Jordan was the biological father of both kids. Kyle's now in a custody battle even though they're not biologically his because he's been their dad for years.